I'm Steve Guberman. I'm Director of Mobile Marketing. What keeps me up at night is basically worrying, are we doing the right thing? It's a large site. We have, tens of thousands of pages on our site, and making sure it's a big ship, and we're trying to steer in the right direction, and always thinking that what we're working on is the right thing, and we steering the ship in the right direction. Well, as I mentioned, we have tens of thousands of pages, and it's impossible to, with the small team that we have, to effectively manage the content and rankings and optimization, making sure everything's correct in every single one of those pages. And it's also important to, some pages are more important to us, certain markets, than in other markets and other pages. So having a tool that can help us determine what the best traffic or where our most traffic is coming from and where we should basically put our efforts into, it's real important to us. Just that the companies we've seen, make common mistakes is that they're not adapting or responding to the latest trends, and they're not using tools to help determine, what the best decision. We can see that. Well, when I came into GolfNow, there was an existing platform we were using, which I wasn't a big fan of. It was very cumbersome. I mean, we jumped into it. And so pretty much immediately we were looking for something else. We had a contract, we had to wait for it to come up, but we were looking around. We looked at several other vendors. The interesting thing for me was with Searchmetrics was like when I would read the industry, like Search Engine Land, Search Engine Journal, they were always quoting or citing Searchmetrics, for their annual reports they put out and the state of search and so forth. Conferences I've been to, I've heard Marcus speak, and I was a big fan of his, and he's an industry leader. Other tools we looked at wasn't all proprietary. They were, these other companies are using third-party tools within their platform, and for me, I could just go subscribe to those tools and don't need that. So Searchmetrics for us was an all-in-one tool that covered everything we did, paid, mobile, organic search, things like that. For local, it's tough because we have hundreds of local markets that we're constantly trying to optimize for, and ours is a very weather-based business. So like when certain weather is good in the south, it's not great in the north, we changed our focus on those markets. But again, having a tool that help us focus in on the proper markets, it's important to us because our site is responsive, so we have a pretty good balance with mobile, web, and also a desktop. We see a lot more of our traffic going to mobile, so it's real important to us. And again, using Searchmetrics, it gives us our rankings, our insight into both how we're doing on a desktop and mobile, so we can know that we're striking that fine balance between the two. So we've been using the Searchmetrics Content Experience Suite to help us optimize our content. It's been wonderful because it actually is the first tool I've actually used that uses artificial intelligence to really tell us the level of content we need for each page that we're focusing on. So if we have a specific market, a big market of ours is Orlando and or Phoenix, making sure that the content on that page, it's telling us, it's grading us on, again, using artificial intelligence, that we're meeting the minimal levels to help us rank as good as we can for those pages. And it analyzes the words that we're going after, and it gives us a score based on the content, and it suggests words that we need to add, the level of the words, how many of those words do we need to add, and then it regrades as we add those words. So we know we're hitting that fine balance, and we're not guessing. It gets us to rank better where we need to be quicker. So when we're looking at tens of thousands of pages, we try to set up our views based on our, the priority we put into individual markets. So we look at a national level, how are we doing in the United States? We look at how we're doing in Orlando, how we're doing in Phoenix, how are we doing in Las Vegas, and we set up individual sub-campaigns for each one of those markets that shows up on a main dashboard within Searchmetrics, so we get a quick bird's eye, high-level executive view on how we're doing at any given moment. Searchmetrics is an all-in-one SEO platform at GolfNow.